Emerging research is offering a transformative perspective on protein and health, one that encourages us to reimagine our relationship with food, not just through the lens of tradition or preference, but through the rich lens of science and long-term well-being. Led by Caitlin Andrews and Dr. Alastair Senior from the University of Sydney, this study has revealed a compelling duality. Animal-based protein appears to be a cornerstone for early survival, particularly in childhood, while plant-based protein becomes the more powerful driver of longevity and adult health. The clarity of the findings invites a deeper appreciation for how dietary needs evolve over a lifetime. In childhood, especially in regions where food insecurity remains a pressing challenge, the consumption of nutrient-dense animal-based proteins plays a vital role in survival. Foods such as eggs, dairy, and meat provide concentrated sources of essential amino acids, iron, zinc, and fat, nutrients that are difficult to obtain in sufficient quantities from plant sources alone during the most critical stages of growth. The study confirms that in countries where these foods are more available, mortality rates among children under 5 are significantly lower, underscoring the role animal protein can play in reducing global malnutrition and developmental delays. However, as we progress into adulthood, the nutritional calculus shifts in a fascinating way. Countries where diets skew more heavily toward plant-based proteins show significantly longer adult life expectancies. This isn't just a matter of correlation. It aligns with decades of medical evidence linking plant proteins with lower risks of chronic disease. Diets centered on legumes, whole grains, tofu, nuts, and seeds are packed with fiber, vitamins, antioxidants, and phytochemicals that support heart health, metabolic balance, and cellular repair. These nutrients work synergistically to reduce inflammation, manage blood sugar, and protect against conditions like type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and certain cancers, ailments that are among the leading causes of premature death globally. This contrast doesn't imply a simplistic good versus bad dichotomy between animal and plant proteins. Instead, it points toward a life cycle appropriate model, one where the types of protein we consume are adjusted to match our evolving physiological needs. It's a model that could empower families and policymakers alike to optimize nutrition at every stage of life, ensuring that children grow strong and adults age well. Beyond the health implications, the study opens a larger and more hopeful dialogue about how protein choices affect not just individuals, but societies and ecosystems. With growing concern about climate change and resource depletion, the environmental cost of meat production has come under increasing scrutiny. Raising livestock typically requires significantly more land, water, and feed than cultivating crops like beans or peas. It also produces higher levels of greenhouse gases, contributing to global warming. This study arrives at a time when many developed nations are actively seeking to decarbonize their food systems, and it offers compelling evidence that plant-based diets can play a crucial role in achieving both environmental and public health goals. And yet, this transition isn't about eliminating animal protein altogether. For many cultures, meat holds social, historical, and spiritual value. For others, it remains a symbol of prosperity or a vital economic resource. Recognizing this, the most sustainable path forward may be one of thoughtful moderation, embracing variety, respecting traditions, and prioritizing balance. It's about enhancing diets with more plant-based protein, not enforcing rigid rules. This balanced approach could help people around the world meet their nutritional needs while also reducing the strain on the planet's resources. One of the most encouraging aspects of this research is the underlying message that longevity isn't reserved for the wealthy or privileged. While healthcare access and genetics play roles, everyday food choices, especially the source of protein, can offer powerful tools for adding years to life and life to years. That message is especially relevant in regions facing growing rates of chronic disease due to westernized eating habits. The findings also carry important implications for global food security. Improving access to high-quality plant proteins could enhance public health without requiring vast resources. Looking ahead, the study's authors point to the need for innovation in child nutrition, especially in communities where meat may not be readily available. There's room to explore new plant-based formulas, fortified foods, and education programs that can meet early developmental needs without over-reliance on animal products. As the food industry continues to evolve, these advances may help ensure that all stages of life are supported nutritionally, regardless of geography or income. Ultimately, what emerges from this research is a story of empowerment. We are not helplessly bound to the genetic lottery or limited by our environments. Through informed, intentional dietary choices, we can influence our vitality, resilience, and longevity. It is also a story of possibility, a world where both young and old can thrive, where communities can flourish on sustainable, nutrient-rich food systems, and where the future of global nutrition looks not only more ethical and equitable, but profoundly life-affirming. This is a conversation not just about what's on our plates, but about the kind of lives we want to lead and the kind of world we want to inhabit.